Hello everyone. Welcome to week 3 of the course. I have a couple of follow-up pointers from week 2 to talk to you about. For the discussion forums, I have graded discussion 4 and discussion 5. On discussion 4, just a few follow-up ideas. The idea of form versus content. I think many of you posted some very fascinating observations about this debate. There's no right or wrong answer on any of these discussions, by the way. But just to share my perspective, I agree with those of you who say that it depends more on context as to which is more important of the two. And a lot of you, I'm impressed, gave good examples, such as with a flyer or versus a resume or versus technical instructions. It really depends on your audience, which is going to be more important, the form or the content. You guys handled that discussion very well. Discussion number 5. Thank you to our 2 contributors who contributed interesting videos. One of the questions that arose during the discussion 5 was, can social media be addictive? Some said yes, some said no, some said you really can't compare being addicted to social media the same way that you would be addicted to nicotine. I'm not so sure. I taught a class in writing for the sciences, and we read this book. The Compass of Pleasure, How Our Brains Make Fatty Foods, Exercise, Marijuana, Generosity, Vodka, Learning, and Gambling Feel So Good. The author here, in case anybody is interested, David J. Linden. And this is a fascinating book that talks about the brain chemistry and how, like you guys mentioned, the dopamine receptors and all that, how all of these activities can stimulate addictive behavior. So thank you for our 2 presenters for those fascinating videos that dealt with social media and addiction and how companies manipulate us. Very interesting discussion. Okay, so let me talk for a moment about assignment 1. I have begun reviewing assignment 1 and providing some feedback for you guys on your Google Docs collections of 5 documents. And first, let's talk about the technical difficulties. I did send you out a video on how to use Google Docs in case some of you aren't familiar with it. It looks like I'm having trouble accessing some of your all's links. Please make sure that you go back and change the settings on your Google Docs so that the link is shareable, and you have to set it so that anyone on the internet with the link can view the document. Also, you have to make it so that anyone with the link can edit the document. And what I realized is if we are signed in our Google accounts, actually it tells us when we write a comment the person's name who is commenting, so we don't have to put our initials at the end of the comment. So for those of us peer reviewing, and by the way, I haven't graded discussion 6 yet because the peer review deadline is tonight at midnight, so I want to give everybody time to meet your deadline. So as we peer review your guys' work, you will know who said which comment. So I'm beginning to offer comments on your guys' projects and what I call shadow grades. That is a grade that it's recorded for now, but it is not the final grade. Remember, at the last week of the semester, you get to revise all your projects, and you can change those grades and make them go higher depending on your revisions. So you will be getting comments from me. It's probably going to take me all the way through the week to get to all 25 projects, so please be patient and look for comments from me this week. A couple of quick comments about the documents themselves. First, when we're talking about the memo, make sure the form is correct. Most of you are doing a good job. The one mistake I see is that you want to line up at the very top your to, your from, your subject. You want the colons. After the colons, you want to tab over and have all of the items lined up in a completely straight line from top to bottom. As far as content, there are 2 things that you guys could work on with your memos: conciseness and clarity. You want to be sure to tell your story quickly. A memo typically in the workplace does not go over a page. and you want clarity. Sometimes your language is a little hard to follow. Maybe you could have used better word choice or explained the situation a little more clearly. So think about those items with regard to the memo. But as far as the examples, you guys are coming up with good examples of unethical behavior in the workplace. And I like how you open with a quick comment and close with a quick comment. So that's working well. As far as your letters, one thing that you want to do when you're writing a letter, especially when you want something from your audience, is you want to be sure to indicate, whether directly or hinting, what will your audience gain from following your request. For example, if you are asking, let's say you've gotten a bad product in the mail and you're trying to send it back and get a refund or get a new product, try to add a sentence or two of what the audience will gain from helping you. Is it because you need it, because your schedule's busy and you need the laptop to be prepared and sent to you for school? Yes, probably, but you might also mention, what does this person on the other end of the letter gain from helping you? You might say something like, by helping me, you will have another satisfied customer, and I will spread word of mouth, or I will give you good Yelp reviews, or I'm sure your company would appreciate having satisfied customers so they can continue to have a good reputation. You don't have to blackmail them and say, I'm going to go on Yelp and really trash you if you don't do this. You don't have to be negative, but you could sort of hint positively that by helping you, it's going to help them. The same thing is true if you're writing a letter to a government official. I'm sure by helping us resolve this problem of potholes in Hialeah streets, that your voters will really appreciate your efforts come election time, or that you will leave a strong legacy as a leader of this city. So try to, sweeten them up a little bit with what they will gain from helping you. And the other thing to think about with letters is your tone. Now, on one extreme, you could be very pushy and aggressive. On the other extreme, you could be too meek and not aggressive enough. Try to be somewhere in the middle. So with your tone, again, you want to be proactive and assertive, but not overly aggressive. And I think that about covers it. This week you have more discussions due. I do need another volunteer for our middle of the week discussion prompt. You guys have been doing a great job with it. Please, somebody message me. Let me know who would be willing to do the discussion for this week. And I will be doing the grading. And we definitely need to choose our nonprofit this week. And I'll send out an email about that soon. Also, I do have office hours tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. If you want to contact me live in person, I will be online with Gmail chat or Skype. Have a good week, everybody.